Hello and welcome back to Dibbing Stage Block 9, looking at baseball and Raji Davis here. What we're doing is going over the character and his stolen bases, his profile and the tops, Major League Baseball 11 the show. 14 is the newer version. I'm on 11 right now, and I'm checking their stats. Their bunting capability is 56, and plate vision. Clutch is 73, plate discipline is 63, plate vision of, I'm going to put that to, looks like I'm putting it to 91, and putting discipline up to 79, and arm strength of 68, 81 speed. Now I'm pushing that up to 92 speed, and matching his base running ability of 92, and aggression off the bags towards from stealing of 91. Okay, the reason for that, from baseballreference.com, great site for information. Raji had stolen bases of 50, but for the most he hits 42, and we didn't really have a speed that was related to his 42 stolen bases. He had like an 88 speed, and I thought he was a little bit faster than that, so I went back in to update it. Eventually I'll get around to getting an updated system with updated stats, but for right now, it's been a great chance to show Edit Player of Major League Baseball, the show, in their franchise, which I'm assuming the MLB 14 does the exact same adjustment, but that it's been a lot of fun. I've never seen the in of the character, and I've been updating the team as best as I can. My team's a little bit different from theirs. Their active 25 and 40 are basically the same players that they hired for this year, but some of the other players they decided to send down to the minors and in AAA rather than keep them on their 25 roster. Like Evan Reed is on their team, and he's probably in AAA. Phil Cook was in AAA last year, recovering from injury, but he spent more time down there than he did up in the majors. I'm not sure why. Ian Kroll is on their team, and I think he came over with the Nationals for the Lamberdosi trade, who went to the Orioles while they were doing their shortstop thing with the Glacius and the shin splits for him, and then hired Andrew Romine and Alex Gonzalez, and I kind of missed the Alex Gonzalez part, with Peralta, who was out in the outfield, is now with the Cardinals. Just a lot going on there. So a lot of adjustment to the team and demonstrating that. Raji Davis is one of their aspects that they have. He doesn't play shortstop, but he is a leadoff, in my opinion, on the team. He is on the major one for Detroit this year, but he's bats ninth at the bottom of the lineup with kind of an Eckstein or Thoreau of the Cardinals, instead of a Furcall or Jimmy Rollins leadoff, and using his speed and his 42 stolen bases or 50 stolen bases at the top of the lineup. And generally the leadoff person is a good gauge for hitting for the contact people coming up, and then the power hitter and the cleanup hitter, but sometimes you put your best speed up at the top of the lineup so that they can get on and then be hit in by the contact or power hitter and score a run. After they steal a base and they get a single off the contact hitter or power hitter, if they get a double or something like that, that'll easily score the speed guy, and that puts points up on the board. Most prefer that the power guys hit home runs, but that's not always the case in a league with bat ball positioning. The best thing that you can do is come up with an Ichiro slap or poke, and that poke is probably going to be a muscled out home run, but really it's probably going to be a double or a hard single, and that allows the person who stole the base up to second from the speedster to now get around second to third, and then from third to home on a single that's hit into the outfield. That's the lineup I believe that Detroit should have, and that's how I build them, and also or have been building the team makeup for the previous Detroit.25.Active, which is the 25 active roster players of the Detroit Tigers team. That's the way I manipulate them, or benchmark their players out of the 40, which the 15 remaining doesn't travel with the team. They're either at home or they're down in AAA. The Detroit 25, the 25 roster is the one that actually travels with the team, or you see daily, and the pitchers are on that, but they're either in the bullpen or on the bench. Usually about 13 of 15 infielders, outfielders, and catchers, and 10 pitchers or something like that. Being the closer, relief pin, and the 5 starters. 5 starters, a couple of relief pin, that's like 8 or 9, and then the closer for 10. And then that's 10. 25 minus 10 is 15 remaining players for the catchers, the first baseman, third baseman, outfielders, left field, right field, center field, shortstop, and second base, along with designated hitter for the pitcher in the American League. But all that comes down to still trying to strategically place your power, contact, or lead with power on as the first person to hit in your lineup, or to use somebody with 42 or 50 stolen bases from previous seasons. So thanks for listening. This has been Chad Brown, and this has been just an insight into Raji Davis, a very great candidate along with Kinsler. I believe Kinsler has a higher on-base percentage for him to do steals with, but technically he's never had 50 stolen bases compared to Raji Davis, 20 behind. In his best season, although he had 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases twice in his career. Usually tends to normal population out to about 15. I guess that's dimming statistics of upper and lower control limit. Sometimes he's up at 30, but he's really around 15 to 20 and he wants to steal more bases, and he could. But for me, it works better in the lineup to have Raji in front of him with his 50 stolen bases, and then have Kinsler either a hard single or a bunt over. He's got kind of a National League mentality when it comes to bunting and being a help as the second spot on the lineup to get that runner over if he can't get the steal. And he'll bunt over, sacrifice himself, go to 1 out, and then Raji will be on second with 1 out, and then Austin Jackson and then Miguel Cabrera could come up in that inning. Either one of them could probably hit the single in with good contact, and Miguel, of course, being the Triple Crown winner, and bring that Raji over around third and then into home once that dunks into the outfield, or gets slapped into the outfield as a line drive, a skipper, and it's great stuff. And then they get multiple at-bats in the game, and maybe you can put up multiple runs, or in the other cases, maybe Miggy will get something more squared up and hit a home run off of that, and it'll make it like 4-0, 4-1, 4-2. In general, sometimes Kinsler and Raji can get on, and then maybe double steal or wild pitch or something, and worrying, or a bulk, and worrying about them being on base. Or Austin Jackson, also capable of more bunting than recognized, kind of like a Curtis Granderson of the Yankees, or Soriano, who went to like the Rangers and Yankees and was with the Cubs, can bunt them over, and then first and second become second and third with 1 out, and then Mickey can come up to the plate. So exciting stuff, usually about 3 or 4 bats in a game, and definitely a difference maker of a component strategic build for the Detroit Tigers to be Detroit 25 active.